that's committed, on the other hand, the only time they're willing to give up that person.
And I'm learning how to be patient from you. So you're a very good teacher with that. So I'm learning to be patient. Very happy you have taught me, and you're giving me and have given me to my new master, which is my soulmate. And so I'll try not to hurt you or whatever, or like scratch you with my teeth or anything. That's one of my biggest fears. So I have to do a specific task, sir. And I did end up getting a knife. And if I know you, I know that you'll be planning to take over the world. Watch it burn. But you can't do it though. And so, like August 1st, he said that it would be alright as long as she didn't cause any trouble between us. And so that's why I accepted her friend request. And I wanted to talk it over with you. I'll prove to you by doing stuff to Nick. And one of the things that I can do is something that I can do, considering that you're probably more evil than I am. And I do have boundaries. So, I decided to wear something pretty for you. And I just wanted to tell you how much I love and adore you so very much. It was stupid of me to not ask permission because usually that you accepted. I didn't know if you was gonna. It just was an idea. And I thought, since Gypsy and Nick gonna have, at times I could be a little bit stubborn. But hey, you'll get broken down and started crying and realize that we couldn't live without you. So I'm happy that we're back together now because
knows I'm probably one of the most quiet people she knows. It's because I'm a critical thinker. I'm always thinking. I was looking at my freaking past lifetime.
I need you. So I won't say that again. I won't try and give away something that I really meeting. I hope you admit it. I have a habit of being kind of a know-it-all at times, and because then it would be your longest relationship. And I'm really happy because I feel so complete with you, or that's my choice, is what she said. And I'm like, additional lasting love forevermore than she could ever give. That is very true, and I'm so happy that you are. I wonder what I did so right to deserve you. And the only thing I can think of is the woman that both of you want me to be is being.
You know, Ricky. He's the one taught me. Never since I was taught it from him, and that's how I know what I. Sweetheart.
Give me that unconditional love that I need. And
On a milestone, every simple joy and unforgettable moments, and I'll open this and do.
The first thing question, I wish I could be with you right now. That would be a lot of fun. But I want you to know that I'm always thinking about you. You're always in my heart and mind.
I know that she wants to be my submissive / dominant wife. The both sides of the thing. What do you call it?
And take charge of anything, whether it's a relationship, a journey, or just anything in general. You are a leader. You're a master.
I'm hot as hell right now. I want to freaking open that freaking window back up. I just wanted nothing to be really. That's what I'm looking for.
Goodness gracious. Trying to think of something. Well, if I was with you, I'd get in trouble because I lied so much, and I promised her that I wouldn't lie, but we'll get cut out. Because, well, at first I thought you weren't.
So, hello! How are you today? Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas! It's Christmas Eve, bitch, and I'm making videos because work never stops. You know what I'm saying? We don't stop working around here. It doesn't matter. But tomorrow, I am not going to make a video, but I am going to be editing. So, there's that. I'm just checking. I have my beautiful Christmas dress on. I don't know if you can see it very good, but I'm going to do a little video in the beginning to where you guys can see how beautiful it is. I just love it. You know what I'm saying? I love on Christmas to wear a cute little outfit, you know, like last year I think I was an elf. You know what I'm saying? I really enjoy Christmas. Christmas is one of my favorite holidays. Even if, you know, I don't have everybody around that I would love to have around on Christmas, it's still nice to have the people I do have around, and I appreciate them very much. I'm very grateful for them, So I hope everybody out there, though, that watch my channel or any other channel out here on YouTube, I pray and hope that everybody has a wonderful holiday season. Okay? Now, with that being said, welcome back to Baby Girl's World, where we dive in to the Gypsy Rose bullshit and chugga chugga choo choo. We ride that truth train, bitch. And we're going to keep on riding that truth train until one day Gypsy Rose is either locked up again, which I don't know if that'll ever happen, or off the internet completely. We don't know what the fuck's going on with that. That would be nice. But like Nina said, I fear the worst because her activities lately have been a little questionable. Okay? But I just want to say that if you are new here, Baby Girl's World, take a look around. I've made videos of ride the truth train all the way through. I've talked about every last bit of this case over and over and over again. But you know why I do that? Because I want it to get out there. Okay? And I will send my videos to whoever and whatever and podcasts and networks and things like that. I send Becca Scoops videos. It's great that Perez Hilton has been on this and has been riding the truth train now and is on our side and everything like that. But it seems like Sir Morbid X has some kind of problem with his past. But I will say this. If you take a look into Mr. Morbid's past, you will find that he wasn't the greatest person either. Okay? So there's a lot of things that he's done under a different name on this platform that got him kicked off of this platform. Therefore, him sitting on his panel and putting down other creators and Perez Hilton and all that stuff because he wants to seem holier than thou, it's bullshit. And him coming into the Gypsyverse again. So, Jimmer Nam is who Morbid X used to be here on YouTube. In fact, he's used many names on YouTube. People claim that Morbid has spoken about his past and was accountable for it, which, is fine. And it's fine to follow him even and subscribe to him even after, you know what I mean? But he can't let go of what people like Perez Hilton have done in their past. Why do we then excuse his bad behavior as Morbid and or Jimmer Nam or any of the accounts? He makes YouTube accounts using different names under a VPN that he pays for. One of his accounts is banned permanently here on YouTube, and he is not supposed to create accounts under his name anymore. Here's some comments on Reddit from not long ago. He's talked shit about many creators, including Becca Scoops. He was banned from doing worse things than he criticizes on YT. I'm just saying he's not helping the truth train. He's going against it by just talking shit. So here's some of the comments from people on Reddit that have stated they don't like his character, and I just want you to analyze your beliefs.
The things he's done towards children, talk about masturbation, talk about sexual things with them, it's sickening. And the only way we're going to get rid of him is if everybody pulls together and helps with this time. What we got to start doing is going into his chat. I can't go in there because I'm blocked everywhere. But to let these people know what type of guy this guy actually is, the type of stuff that he's done. I mean, he can't even see his own kids, for God's sake. So what does that say about other kids? Anyways, let's do something and get rid of this guy once and for all. I see this guy going back into the children's community, and it makes me sick. Like he says, he caters to the young crowd, talking about masturbation, talking about blowjobs, things like this with young minor children. If you're a parent, you should be outraged. I'll tell you what, they're not my children. I've got grandchildren, and if anybody ever comes up with this type of stuff and talks to my grandchildren like this, they deserve worse than just being taken off YouTube. But anyways, we got to do something about this guy. So if you go into his chat and you see these people, you got to start warning them. Same thing with where he gets his comments. You got to start warning these people. We need to get rid of him once and for all. A lot of you get a hold of me, always asking me to do something. Now I decided, you know what? I'm going to do something. Let's get rid of this prick. These are somebody's children out there, and we've got to protect them. Plus the things that he's done to others. I mean, this guy has got to be stopped. And I appreciate any help I can get. But anyways, you guys have a good day. Let's listen to this. This is a call with Darius. Darius was a young boy that called in who liked basketball. I want you to listen to this man. It's just very, very creepy. And then he said he took down just to show you what type of liar he is. And people believe his shit because, they think, oh, he's great talent. He does have great talent. But talent, because you got talent, you don't let a rapist stop because he's got talent. Once you rape a woman, you're a rapist. Once you go cross that line with children, you're a groomer. And that's what Jimmer is. He's a groomer. Anyways, guys, you have a good day. And let's take this guy down once and for all. You can listen to this 12-year-old kid right now. His name was Garrett. I'll give you the call when he first called in, and then you can kind of hear what happened after that.
Yes.
Stop worrying about the trolls, bro.
This is my brother right here. I love this guy. Darius.
Yeah.
What's up, bro? How you doing?
Sup.
Sup. You sup. I'm happy I met you tonight, by the way. I'm really appreciative and very grateful, by the way.
Yeah.
You're a good kid.
You're supposed to tell me that.
And you need to go to bed. I mean, it's fucking late over there in Louisiana.
Yeah, it's 1:59.
That's pretty late, bro.
No, it's not. And when high school, I go to sleep at 11.
All right, bro. So what's up? I'm sorry, I'm angry.
Just watch the dumb videos.
You're right, bro. I am going to do what I do. I think I'm coming from a different platform. I switched over to NBA stuff now, and I like it. And so you're kind of catching me in a weird situation here. But I appreciate you. I like you a lot, kid. And I'm glad you're part of the Discord server. You're going to be a big part of this moving forward. I like it. Go Thunder. I know you love me, but I love you, brother. I don't want you to learn that kind of behavior.
No.
All right? I want you to be all about love.
No.
Forgiveness.
No.
Yeah, Darius, come on. And I don't feel comfortable that your parents are not okay with this. I love you, bro. You're a good kid. We're going to watch some NBA shit, man. Did you watch my NBA show earlier tonight?
No, I literally could not do nothing on my phone.
All right, well, go watch the replay. I think you'll like it. I'm just trying to get rid of some old, fucking piece of shit scum.
The Zodiac person, stop editing, bro. Stop timing me out.
Somebody else is timing you out, bro. I'm sorry. It's not me. I promise.
On the second account, I think I'm still banned out. I think I'm banned for like another hour.
All right, let me see. I'll hook you up, bro. You're a good kid.
They said that I can't use that account for a little while.
Let me see here.
I don't know if I'm still banned.
What, from YouTube? You're banned from YouTube?
No, not banned. Timed out.
Let me see. Hold on one second.
I brought my Tribe Gaming account, and they did that one, and he said I won't be back for a while. And the person who banned me, the Verdiac suit.
Yeah.
And I thought Ellen was on my side. I thought Ellen was cool. She wants me banned.
Who wants you banned?
Ellen.
LD?
No, yeah, LED.
LED. I don't know what's going on over there. Let me see if you're banned. I think you're all good, bro.
The scissor dude.
She's over. You banned you?
I understand what she told me out, but
all right, cool. I took care of it. You're all good, bro.
She told me out. No, because the dude just kept talking trash to me, so I just stepped back. Especially Kenny.
All right, I'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. I gotta be responsible. Whatever that means, but I gotta be responsible. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying, Darius. All right, Darius. Look, dude, I love you.
No, ew.
We'll do some NBA shit.
Please don't share that again.
I love you, dude.
What?
I missed you on the NBA live stream earlier, but
you better.
I love you. Okay? No, I don't love you. I like you. I think you're a good kid. I want you to be a good kid. I don't want you to be a bad boy. Okay?
No,
be a good boy.
Please don't ever use those words in the same sentence.
Right.
This is Invader. Anyways, you guys have a good night. Anyways, after listening to this guy talk to this child, because something's wrong here. But anyways, it's in our power to take this guy down. Enough is enough with this guy. I mean, talking about pedo issues, talking to them about masturbation, talking about blowjobs. How do they feel about adults talking to them? It's just completely wrong. And if we don't do something about it, we fail as adults. Because, somebody's got to protect these kids. And you know what? He's going back into these communities again. Once again, he goes back into the child communities with parent issues, and it's completely wrong. So hopefully everybody will help and do something this time. We've got to take this guy down once and for all. For what he's done to people out there, for what he's done to many, many, many good children. I mean,
I'm so grateful to everybody that has supported me.
Now, isn't this the exact reason that he's coming after Perez Hilton? Is he purposely trying to make us deflect from the truth train, you guys? I'm starting to really think so. Because he thinks that he's going to make a little bit of dough is bullshit as well. Morbid, you left. Stay gone, please. We don't need you here causing a bunch of bullshit, please. He did it before when he was on his panel, causing a bunch of drama between creators. And that's all I will talk about it, okay? I just wanted to say my piece on it. But we gotta do this, you guys. We've got member of the video, bitch. Ooh, it's Brittany Doris 5922. Yes, she is the greatest Christmas present to a bitch. Is a member. All right, we got 5 featured subscribers as well. Jasmine Dixon, Lily, Silas the Virus 19. It's Jade with a little winky face. Cindy G in Tennessee with a heart. I love it. I hope you all had a Merry Christmas. I hope you all got everything you wanted from Santa Claus. I am Santa's niece. I will say that.
Was that you're like a Gypsy Rose, like encyclopedia?
No.
You know a lot about her. That's all he said.
Well,
Yeah,
on your
Audrey,
live
you
stream,
are
because
the
I was in there earlier. You were on a TikTok live, Audrey. Weren't you promoting Paris? Because I was in there and you were promoting him. You're like, hey guys, yeah, it's great to have him on board. And
Paris? Who's Paris?
Perez Hilton. You know who I'm talking about.
Oh, Perez. No, you said Paris, so I was
Well, you know who I'm talking about.
promoting him.
You want to hear
No,
the clip of
saying
you
that I
promoting him?
went up and
You and Ashley were saying, hey, Perez, wow, it's good to have him on. He's got a good following and he's putting the message out for us. What do you think about this? Do you have
Are you putting words in my mouth right now? Because I didn't say that.
I'm asking you a question, that's all.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Did you
Sorry.
Did
Go
you
ahead.
promote him today on your TikTok live?
I brought up that he has mentioned Gypsy. Yes. I've brought up everybody that has mentioned Gypsy.
Mm-hmm.
And just like Ashley said, he has a problematic past, but we're getting it in front of other people. We can't help who does and does not speak about it.
Yeah.
And regardless of the past, it's putting it in front of more people's eyes. And that is the whole point of the movement.
So even if it sacrifices your own morals, do you have children?
I do have children.
What if this happened to your child? If Miley Cyrus was your child?
If what happened to my child? I don't even
Upskirt
know
photos
about his past.
being tweeted. You don't care about his past, but you care about Gypsy's
Did you
past?
see what was going on, Audrey, just now?
Do what?
Did you see what Morbid's been showing us about Perez?
No, I literally just got on here.
Okay. He
Okay,
posted
so
a photo of Miley Cyrus.
maybe it's not fair that you're speaking without getting all the information.
Maybe it's not fair that you're speaking without getting the information on me to know whether I do or do not know about something and to assume that I know about
I'm
something.
just spectating and making commentary and criticism on what I've seen and stuff. I don't know you personally. I have the right to speak on anybody that's creating content. I mean, you do the same thing. You speak on Gypsy, right?
You don't have the right to assume that I know something, though.
So, you guys, to speak negatively about any creator is just not what we are doing any longer. We all have a past, including you, Sir Morbid X, or Jim or Nam, or Morbidly XXX, whichever your name is. Let's focus on the truth. I don't know. They got me on a new weight loss drug right now. It's got me a little feeling weird. But I'm dealing with it. It's a daily shot. It's weird. Anyways, so Ryan, I just have to say this about Ryan. He will never, ever get off the fucking wagon of Gypsy Rose Blanchard.
But in reality, it probably wasn't really needed, but the mother made it needed. You see what I'm saying? Does that make any sense?
No, yeah, I'm just thinking out loud, like,
because here's the thing: a hospital can't just
thinking out loud in my brain.
Yeah, and pay insurance and get insurance to pay for it. The hospital has to legitimize it. You know what I mean? So just because that piece of paper said it was medically necessitated, well, of course it was. It got done. Doesn't mean that the doctor made the right decision. Does that make sense?
It does. I don't know what to believe now.
And that's the thing is I don't believe any of that stuff. Before all of that, it's hard to look at a medical record and be like, oh, that legit, because her mama lied so much. They lied so much that what's there to believe?
Because I think that's actually, very powerful testimony that you had this unpleasant split from her, and yet you still believe what you believe,
Man, denial's a hard thing. Denial's very powerful. right? All right. My whole belief in the situation was one way. If I all of a sudden look back at it and say, well, our relationship wasn't real, then it makes that a complete waste of my time and life. You know what I mean? Like, it makes everything I did worthless. And I don't want to believe that. You know what I mean? Like, I want to believe that we had something real and we had it, and we did. But it ended like it wasn't. You know what I mean? Like, it ended like we ended like it ended like, you know, there's so much into that though. Like, there's so much into that. And people say I defend her and all this, but I'm not. You know, I just don't bash her. You know what I mean? Like,
very gentlemanly. I respect that.
And that's when people say I defend her, I'm just not bashing her. It's not my place to bash. Like, I have every right to. Honestly, Prez, I have every freaking right to. Like, I could come out guns blazing
with me,
be like, bow, 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 bow. And like, people are writing in my chat, willful ignorance. I'm not willfully ignorant. Like, I just heard she was abused. Now, these tapes that come out, they're crazy. Like, they're freaking batshit crazy, but.
And you never saw that side of her?
No, I didn't know Damona. I didn't wear wigs. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that was not my relationship. Like that's the shit I'm looking at. I'm like, God, no wonder it was crazy. Look who it was with. Like, that's the thing is, like, I see those videos and I'm like, oh my God, like, crazy. But like, that wasn't my relationship. So,
think if it was, maybe you'd still be together?
Maybe. Maybe if I was more kinky. Maybe.
Yeah, I know. I'm like,
I thought of that. I've thought of that. Maybe if I was more of a freak and cray-cray, then yeah, maybe. But, dude, there was a lot. Her family didn't want me with her.
Why?
Christy did not want me with her, period. So she got rid of me. In the grand scheme of things, when I became her husband, boom, I trumped stepmom.
But she's
think about
she had a good relationship with Ken?
I mean, Christy obviously did. Christy pushed that relationship. Like, Christy would tell her, I wish Ken was my son-in-law, not Ryan. And I'd be at work. You know what I mean? Say shit like that. Like, kept pushing that on Gypsy. And like, you know, people are saying, no, it wasn't Christy. Gypsy used you. Okay, use me for what? Like, that's the thing. What'd she use me for? You know what I'm saying? Like, she might have used me, like, you know, I have moments where I think, okay, maybe I just was a jail husband. You know what I mean? Like, it looked like it from the outside, but I try not to believe that. Like, that would.
You really had pure intentions.
Right. Like, I try not to believe that, but there are moments where I'm like, damn, maybe that's the truth.
How long did you correspond? You went out and visited her, right? Obviously, before you proposed.
Yeah.
How much time did you spend with her?
I visited her a year before we talked for a year. A year and 2 months before we even met because of COVID. And then after the day I met her, that's when she committed to me. That's when she said, you know, because.
What do you mean? Was she talking to other guys?
Possibly. She was just talking, you know, like we never were like, we're official. You know what I mean? We didn't become official boyfriend and girlfriend until we met. So, you know, people throw these emails. Look, she sent Ryan an email, but then sent this guy an email. Well, of course, we weren't official yet. Like, I couldn't stop her from doing other things. You know what I mean? Like, I can't stop her from doing something. But, man, there's so much more to this than people realize. Like, I'm going to stop it there because I can talk and just
in the future,
feel like I'm just throwing information out.
In the future, if you ever wanted to, like, write a memoir, your autobiography, and talking about that time, could you?
Oh, yeah, I could.
Okay. All right.
I could. I have, my memory's good.
I shouldn't know if you had an agreement that you wouldn't be able to do that.
Oh no, I never signed nothing like that. I have no NDA, nothing. Like they can't stop me from talking about it if they wanted to. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I would talk about my life, my experience. I wouldn't be bad mouth, but I mean, I lived it. I was with her 5 years. Like, you know, that's the thing. And I love people in the chat telling me to wake up and see this. Like, these videos are hard to watch. They're hard to watch. Like, you know what I'm saying? But
I loved it. I love them all. I'm like, this is crazy. I mean,
well, of
honestly,
course, you're an outsider looking in. Of course.
The real disturbing was there was like a couple of creepy ones from that Nick guy. Like those were. Have you seen any of those,
dude? Imagine you're the district attorney, right? And you see this and you have to prosecute people. So you see all these videos and see the ones from Nick, right? There's a reason Nick got life.
It doesn't feel fair that he doesn't even have the possibility of parole, though.
I get it, but man, God, it's every time I talk about Nick, I get attacked. Every time I talk about Nick, and I wasn't there, I didn't live it, but you know, I don't want to say nothing that offends people because I know I do. Like, because it doesn't matter what I say, I'm going to get attacked. But me looking in on that situation, the dude had Wisconsin to Missouri to not do it. You know what I mean? Like he came multiple states down knowing what he was going to do. You know what I'm saying? Like
it was premeditated. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he wasn't abused. He didn't have to kill her. Yeah, she might have asked him, but he could have said, no, I'm not doing that. I mean, if I was talking to her at that time,
I'm starting to feel like it's kind of weird the way he just rides hard for fucking, you know.
So when is Gypsy going to jail? Like when is she gonna get arrested? When is this gonna happen? Because I know y'all see all these videos. All of this. First, it was my mom had me so trapped in the house. I couldn't do nothing. I couldn't go nowhere. I couldn't eat, sleep, shit, or nothing without my mama right there 24/7. But now all of these videos is coming out of her submitting to her master. What was it? Whatever the boy's name is, her boyfriend. What was his name? Go to John. Nick, yeah. So, when is she going to jail is my question, because this is the whole thing. The videos that she got coming out, I don't know if y'all seen a recent video where she basically is she's thanking him for what he's gonna do, meaning Nick's bad side, because you know he had a good side and a bad side. So she's thanking Nick's bad side for what he's about to do for them. And she knows that she's been a bad girl, and you know she knows she gonna get punished, but she hope the punishment ain't that bad. But she thanks him for what he's about to do for her. And then she said, I got most of the stuff for you, the handcuffs, the tape, rope, something else, and like trash bags, something I could be making the trash bags part of, but still she got everything you needed for a murder. Got it ready for him, and then thanked his bad side for what he did or what he's gonna do for them. When's she going to jail? Cause she did it. And I'm sorry, listen, I know what Nick did was wrong. I get it, he shouldn't have did that, but at the same time, that boy is on the spectrum. I damn sure don't think he needs to be in jail for the rest of his life with no parole. She should be right there on the side of his ass, because it was her plan from the jump. She set all the wheels in motion, got all the murder equipment that you need, opened the door for this fool, and then stayed back in the bathroom. Yeah, she did it. She going to jail. And quite honestly, quiet as kept, shout out to fucking Doniva, they need to be watching her right now with her baby. I'm sorry. I said it. I'm sorry that I'm not sorry for saying it. But if that girl, baby, all of a sudden come up with all these sicknesses and these illnesses and all of that, that apple ain't fell too far from that tree. But I want to know when the heifer going to jail, because she did it.
So I don't know what you're going to do, but you're not going to have your daughter for very much longer. Isn't that a shame? If she even really exists. You know what I'm saying?
If Gypsy Rose Blanchard was really a mother, then why did Lifetime cut the labor and delivery scene? Why would that be? Recently, a woman that works for Lifetime doing production was actually on set of Life After Lockup, Gypsy Rose's show. She spilled quite a good amount of tea. This woman starts off by saying, oh, Gypsy's actually really, really sweet. She is very easygoing, very humble. I know, right? But on the other hand, this woman said that Ken Urker, total spoiled brat, has no respect for anyone. This producer goes on to say how they were supposed to do a whole entire labor and delivery scene, but Gypsy, she would have absolutely gave it away that it was fake because she was such a bad actress. She couldn't act for ish. But Ken, oh, he was an award-winning actor, apparently. He was crying when Gypsy gave birth to his reborn doll. This Lifetime producer told the content creator and even showed him proof that this scene was supposed to be in Gypsy's show. Laura Phillips was supposed to be the doctor that was delivering Gypsy's baby. If you type that in, lady playing the doctor named Laura Phillips. Life After Lockup Season 2, nothing comes up. They scrubbed it from the internet, but she showed right here, look, AI used to bring up this because they didn't take it out of the credits yet. So why would they need somebody to play a doctor if Gypsy Rose Blanchard was really giving birth? For all the people who still believe she really gave birth and has a child. Answer me that.
But in some... Okay, I have a theory here, okay? You don't have to agree with me. It's just a theory. I don't know if I completely believe it myself. I just happen to think of it, you know? So, I always am an advocate in justice for Dee Dee. I stand strong on that, justice for Dee Dee. But did Mike Stanfield actually kind of make Gypsy Rose believe that her mother was lying to her about her illnesses and being sick? Now, I'm not saying for 1 second that Gypsy Rose wasn't lying or that, you know, any of what she said is the truth or whatever. I'm not saying that. What I'm just saying is that did he put that shit in her head and then she kind of ran with it?
Is it possible that Gypsy Rose Blanchard's public defender attorney, Mike Stanfield, lied or withheld information from the medical records, ended up giving Gypsy Rose the sweetest plea deal that essentially taught her nothing? Because apparently Mike Stanfield was ready and willing to lie on behalf of Gypsy Rose Blanchard on camera in the documentary Mommy, Dead and Dearest. He lied about key information within the medical records in order to manipulate the public and anyone who watched that documentary into believing that Gypsy was medically abused, and they didn't correct it. Let's look at what he said in the documentary, and then let's go to the actual medical records to see how he lied.
Talking to the doctor here, and she's talking about how she has mental and developmental delays, needs assistance. Apparently, while holding her hands over Gypsy's ears so as not to offend history of mental retardation 7-year-old level her mom. And so this was the one time where a doctor actually put in the record that Dee Dee's got her hands over Gypsy's ears. So Gypsy can't even hear what mom is telling the doctor. Then we get into the family history. The family history changed depending on what doctor she was at. You'll notice here, there's not a good history. She ends up going to the...
This is the actual medical record that the attorney is quoting from. So let's actually read what it says. Paraplegic, needs assistance for activities of daily living, has some difficulty with fine motor control, can write and feed self, but mother describes as clumsy while holding hand over Gypsy's ears as not to offend, period. Then history of mild mental retardation. So, you know, if a pair of parentheses are before the period, it doesn't apply to the next sentence. So she covered Gypsy's ears so that Gypsy wouldn't be offended by her mom calling her clumsy. Not because Dee Dee was hiding information and Gypsy just had no idea what was going on. So this was at a time where the lawyer was asked to give mitigating information for Gypsy Rose's case. And in the same document that he's reading from, you know, Gypsy's claims as to that she could never speak, it was always her mom. She just had to sit there and be quiet. If she spoke too much, her mom would get mad. Read this sentence right below me. It says, NAD, wheelchair bound, very pleasant and cooperative. Vocabulary seems more advanced than second grade, fluent and engaging, extremely polite. So if Gypsy was also not allowed to speak to the doctors or even hear what's going on, how would they know that she has a higher vocabulary than that of a second grader? So then the attorney goes on to basically say that this was another huge piece of information where the doctor writes in bold that the mother is not a good historian. Why would he make that point when he has access to the records and it says over and over and over all throughout nearly every single visit, Dee Dee told them that herself. She said, I was in an auto accident and I suffered head trauma, so I have memory loss. And you know, you always hear people saying that criminal defense attorneys have no conscience and they're liars and they're bad people because of who they defend. And I don't necessarily believe that's true. There's a lot of attorneys that are really good people and actually use the truth. But this is an example of one of those bad attorneys that are liars. He just didn't think that this information would ever go public. So I want to know why. Why would he be willing to lie for Gypsy Rose Blanchard? And what did he expect to gain from doing so? Because if you pay attention, like, you can see he's still very much a part of her career right now. And that's pretty rare for especially a public defender to stick around in the way that they stay with somebody for that long. Usually if somebody has a public defender, they get sentenced and they get a new one and a different one, blah, blah, blah. But he's stuck with her. That's odd. You know, they say it takes a village to raise a child, but it also takes a village of liars to elevate someone like Gypsy Rose Blanchard to the platform that she has. Stanfield probably thought that he would just, you know, say whatever he needed to say and move on with it and people just wouldn't care. But, you know, now is a good time in history where we're calling people out and holding them accountable for the things that they do. And of course, I'm not offering anything about this as fact other than if somebody would lie on camera in a documentary as an attorney, why wouldn't they try to do something or withhold information from a DA or a judge? I'm sure if it was possible for Mike Stanfield to actually file a lawsuit on behalf of Gypsy Rose Blanchard against the doctors for medical malpractice, he would have already done so, but he is well aware that he cannot do it. Because there was no malpractice. There was no hundreds of surgeries. There was only surgeries that she needed. Multiple tests came back irregular. The muscle biopsy that she says is normal, not normal. Due to her chromosome disorder, which also had a test. So I can't help but wonder if they somehow destroyed records, because I think the doctors were also in some kind of like insurance fraud thing. But I don't know. I think a lot of them knew there was something wrong with Gypsy, but they just didn't know exactly what. And they knew that Gypsy was exaggerating a lot of her symptoms, because that's in the medical records as well. And I think Gypsy enjoyed the attention just like she does now. So it was probably her idea to shave her head whenever her mom had cancer. Because I'm sure Gypsy was well aware of the type of attention that kids with cancer get. And look what she got from it. A whole bunch of Disney trips and a whole bunch of stuff. But as an attorney, different if you choose to not say something because you know it would make your client look bad, but to say something that is deliberately untrue in order to manipulate people shows what kind of attorney that you are. But I don't know, that's just my opinion. And I'm not saying he did or did not withhold any evidence, but I'm just saying it wouldn't surprise me since he appears to be willing to lie on camera for a documentary. Knowing that people believe documentaries a lot of the time as like true factual information. Your client really learned her lesson in prison, didn't she, huh? She's doing great. Super rehabilitated. So how much did you get from it, Mike Stanfield? Just curious. What do you guys think? Do you think it's a possibility? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget the follow button. And share this video so we can maybe hear back from him. And I will see you guys later. Bye.
Well, you never had cancer. There's no medical records. She had cancer at 5 years old. She went into remission, though. She had ALL, leukemia, acute lymphatic, or however you say it, leukemia. Okay? She had radiation treatments. You can tell by the 3 dots that are on her forehead when she's standing there by the bell. You know? It's just diabolical to me that people go out there and talk about this shit as if it's not true, when it's literally written in a medical document that, yes, she did have it. You don't just go under radiation because the mother requests it, because she says, oh, my daughter has cancer, please give her radiation. The doctors aren't going to do that. I'm sorry, it just doesn't work that way. But Gypsy Rose, basically, you know, Mike Stanfield wanted to use the excuse of MVP in regards to Dee Dee Blanchard, and it just, without them going to trial and everything like that, the whole narrative was ran by the two of them, and Gypsy Rose just fucking must have done a little bit of research on it and just ran with that narrative and kept on going with it to the point of no return. You know what I'm saying? And we don't have Dee Dee here to explain anything, which is terrible. But Gypsy Rose, the gig is up, bitch. The gig is up. When are you gonna fucking just take accountability? You know, we would have more respect for you as a human being if you did that. If you took accountability, you stood up and you said, hey, look, I've been lying this whole motherfucking time. Do you know that most of us would be like, oh my God, thank you. Are you seriously take accountability now? Wow, diabolical. Let's hear your story. Let's hear what you got to say. But we're not going to sit and listen to what you got to say if you're just going to sit there and keep the lies going. When your mother was in the dancing video at the Cape Cod, dancing, acting silly, being goofy with you, how can you sit there and tell me that she was mentally abusive to you and physically abusive to you? That's a lie, Gypsy Rose. We can look at body language and demeanor and everything like that and tell just by those little videos that that's a fucking lie. And by the testimony of neighbors and stuff like that, saying that Dee Dee was a very sweet woman, very kind, very loving, always wanting to take care of people in the neighborhood. Oh, you know, things like that. But then towards the end, before you went alive to her, she wasn't doing so good. That your mother wasn't even conning anybody. There was no cons even. The stuff that she got for you was warranted because of what you had going on with you. The Habitat for Humanity house. Well, at the time they thought you had muscular dystrophy. They didn't know about your microdeletion yet at the time, and they thought you had cancer up until you were 5 years old. You had to stay at the Ronald McDonald house, for God's sake. Gypsy Rose, I just wish you would tell the truth. I just wish you would. You know, and it was literally you the entire fucking time. And that's what upsets everybody, is that you sit here and you turn everything around, your narcissistic behavior, you know, that Darvo effect. You turn everything around and you play the victim and you tell us, the person that can't speak for themselves, that they did everything to you and that they hurt you all the time. But how do we know this for a fact? We can't. Because the one person that could tell us the truth in this matter is not here anymore. All you have ever thought about is yourself. That's it. You, and that's it. And it seems to me you had a lot of fucking time away from your mother that was so controlling to make these videos. If you look at the crime scene photos too, you had that whole room set up for one reason and one reason only. And it was to make these videos. I mean, you got there's the fuse box there, but then you look at the lamp, there's black lights, there's a little party ball light. You know what I'm saying? And why did you have like 15 wheelchairs? I don't understand. You have only ever brought up how things have affected you, not how you affected anybody else, right? Now, I know that, you know, many of us are that way, where we tend to be socially focused on ourselves and how things impact ourselves. But Gypsy Rose, you take it to that next level. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, and Audrey has a point in this TikTok. Your mother, when she found out that you could walk, she could go out there and look like a fool and tell everybody that it was all fabricated. It was just a lie made up by you, and that even she didn't know. Do you think they'd believe her? So no, to protect you and to keep people from criticizing you, she went along with it. Just like when you shot her with the BB gun, did she go to the police and report that it was you that did that? No.
Myself and so many other creators are owed an apology, but you know who is owed the biggest apology? Dee Dee. Let's get into what this manipulating little con artist said. And then afterwards, I got some thoughts.
Hi, my love. I wanted to show you something special, something that I haven't showed you before. Mainly because I was scared to and I didn't really know how to. So, anyway, this is what I want to show you.
Oh, wait. Remove it just for a second. Nope. Okay. We're good. Sorry. I checked, but...
But I don't think it's the dress that you're probably excited about right now. Finally nice to show you after all this time. I'm sorry to keep it a secret from you for so long, but it's not just you that I'm keeping it a secret from. It's sort of like everybody who knows me. I don't even know how I got started. When I was 6 years old, I went into the hospital for like 6 months, and the doctors told me that I had a seizure in surgery, and I wouldn't be able to walk, that I was paralyzed permanently. And that part, like the part that I had a seizure, was true. In surgery, I had the seizure and I was paralyzed. But what they didn't know is that it was temporary paralysis and not permanent. And by the time I started to get my feeling back in my legs, and I hadn't tried to walk then, but I was too young and I just kept to myself. And throughout the years, I tried to tell my mom a few times, and I guess I was just afraid of her not loving me as much as she does if I couldn't walk. You know, I didn't want to make her sad or lose any love from her. I guess that's the reason why I kept it a secret from her. And so I just kept it to myself for a long time until 2011, whenever I sort of started rebelling as a teenager and ran away from home, literally ran away from home, and stumbled. Before I ran away, I started trying to walk as much as I could. And I just got enough strength to be able to leave home. Unfortunately, it was to the wrong person. And so Mom's kind of in denial in a way. I don't really know, because I guess it would be too hard to explain to all our friends and everything. And one thing I never want to go is like a liar. And believe me, I would like for people to know the truth, but being as it is, I would lose a lot of friends, I think. And I just don't want anybody to hate me. And they would. And so you're the only person that knows besides me and that one other guy, which he's not in my life anymore, so, and we're not even friends anymore, so he doesn't. So right now, you're the only person that knows.
It's official, Gypsy. Give it up.
wrap up the victim tour. You are not a victim. Your mother was. This is evidence that you not only manipulated everyone around you, but you manipulated your mother. Notice how in this video you talk about what you would lose, not what your mother would lose, because all you ever fucking thought about was yourself. You put your mom in the worst predicament. She had two choices. Tell everybody the truth and she would look like a liar because you lied to her. Or she could join you in the lie to protect you. You know which one your mother chose? Joining you. You know why she did that? Because she wasn't a shitty parent and she didn't want to throw you under the fucking bus. You wrote in your books, you went on your podcast, and so did your fucking dad, saying that wheelchair showed up after a motorcycle accident. No, it showed up after you got your Nissan surgery, which was because you wouldn't eat, refused to eat, whatever it was the doctor said. But literally, you did all of this. You were the reason your mother took you to multiple appointments because you wouldn't open your fucking mouth and tell her the truth. Why? Because you would lose a little bit of attention? And then you had your mother's life taken and you turn around and you told everybody, I did it because she was forcing me to do all this medical shit. That was on you. I am so mad. I cannot even think straight right now. But all I can say is exactly what Millennial said. Justice for Dee Dee. Myself and so many other creators are owed an apology.
Why? Because she was protecting you, Gypsy Rose. But a mother that's abusive and evil like that, why would she do that for you? Why would she choose to protect you instead of choosing to see you suffer, but at the hands of everybody else and their criticism? You know what I'm saying? I bet you right now she would, even if she was alive right now, be trying to protect you. But still, you do nothing but, just like you did at the murder, just keep stabbing your mother in the back. You keep, even after death, you keep stabbing your mother in the back. Why? Gypsy Rose, it's disgusting. All of this awful shit that went down is all made up and because of you, Gypsy Rose. Not because of anybody else. No one else thought of this. Nick Godejohn didn't come up with this. Your mother didn't help you, in figuring this out. This all came from your mind. Now, you could be a fucking moron and still be smart in those kind of areas. You know what I'm saying? Criminals are usually uneducated but very smart with criminal activity. And you are the sick one in more ways than one, Gypsy Rose. I want you to know that. You are a danger to our society. You're a danger to your family. You are a danger to your daughter. I think you still should be locked up in prison. Yet here we are and you're out and you're doing similar things to what you did right before you unalived your mother. So is something brewing right now? Is there something coming up that we should know about? Just like you giving your TikTok account to Bree. Why? And that's not even right. You can't do that. That's against TikTok community guidelines. And many people have made sure to email in. And if you would like to, you can also report, because the more reports we get in about her, the better chance that we're going to get this platform taken down. Go and email legal@tiktok.com. Okay? And report that Gypsy Rose is violating community guidelines by gifting her account to Bree. Even though now Bree changed it to she's the manager of the account. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Look at you guys. Gypsy's bought followers and subscribers are dwindling fast because of Bree being on here and talking too much shiz, if you know what I'm saying. Just dropping down lower and lower. I believe she did buy, or whoever bought a lot of these followers, though. And they don't stay forever. You know what I'm saying? Watch them go, bitch. And then, while all of these important, very telling videos are released by the Into the Weeds podcast, please go check them out on YT. They are great. They are wonderful ladies. These FOIAs that they've received, the emails, and now the videos. Incredible. Incredible work, ladies. I'm so happy that you did that. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And I do hope that you guys go check them out if you have never seen them before. All of the videos of Gypsy Rose are there in their live streams. So Perez Hilton joins the chat though. Here he is, and he is on our side. Choo choo. Yes, bitch. Yes, bitch. Perez Hilton is on our side. Yes, bitch. Yes, bitch. Okay, I've been watching him though since I was like, I don't even know. But it's crazy to know that now we're working on the same kind of bullshit. We're talking about this. Perez. That's awesome. Thank you for helping us get the truth out there too, Perez Hilton. I really appreciate it. But for those of you that don't know, Perez Hilton jumps into drama all over the place. He knows more about like stars and things like that than anything like this on TikTok. But he really dove into the Gypsy Rose Blanchard case. He listened to people that are for Gypsy Rose, and he listened to people that are against Gypsy Rose. And it looks like he chose the right team because we all know that they are delusional idiots over there supporting Gypsy Rose. Okay? We're sitting over here like, what is wrong with you guys? There's something wrong with them. They've got... something's wrong. We need to get them some help. At first, I kind of thought that he was trying to make everything into kind of like a joke, but now I realize he's not. He's really, really into finding out the truth. And then, oh my God, when Ryan was talking to him in the live stream, I was getting so mad because Ryan is just sitting there doing nothing but defending Gypsy Rose and saying that Nick told her to do all these videos, and that's not true. We can read body language. We can read people, if you know what I'm talking about. Like when Gypsy Rose is in those videos and she's talking, everything is free flowing from her head. You know, she's not reading anything. She's not trying to figure anything out. It's just free flowing.
I'm your one and only right now, but one and only physically. So I can't wait for us to be physically together. 2016. Still so long away. But I'm counting down, and I've got a lot of the money. So hold on 1 second. I'm gonna pause the video so I can go get the money to show you in the ring. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Okay, I'm back. Alrighty. I was talking about the money that we have for our trip. This is your trip. This is your savings, our savings. We have about, I didn't count it, about $390. So we have about $390. 260 is going to go to the bus that you're going to take over here. So your bus ride, your round trip Greyhound bus is covered. Now I'm saving for the hotel, and I just don't want to end up like my mom, where my daddy's fishing her and be mean to her, and then he just say I'm sorry. She forgave him, and then he found another girl, and then he left us. Please, please, sir, I will beg you, please come back and visit me. Don't leave me now. I just get to know you. And I don't leave. I mean, there's still so much that I can learn from you. And we can have magical times together too. And I'm sure you might feel something from me as your former. I remember when I asked you if I could be a vampire, and you said that it would be best if I wouldn't.
Hey guys, welcome back to whatever this is. These are the unseen videos that Gypsy Rose sent to Nicholas Godejohn. These were never seen because GRB did not go to trial. She accepted a 10-year plea deal. Gypsy Rose and Nicholas Godejohn are doing role play right here. These are Gypsy's videos to him. She is leaving him to go be with him. I'm not sure what's going on either.
Thank you for training me to be more than I ever thought that I could be. Thank you for all those times that you had to be frustrated with me and teach me things that you had to reteach me. And thank you for just being so patient with me and loving. I realize that you don't give your affection without it being earned, but really, all I have to say is, whenever you did, goodness gracious, I felt so blessed, and I felt so proud of myself and thankful, and it really touched my soul. But you were so kind to me and so loving, and I'm so proud of how far I've come, and I hope you're proud of me too, sir. And I realize I'm not your soulmate. Demona is. But I hope I've made you proud, and I hope I continue to make you proud with how I will be a good, which is my new master. And there will always be, and there always has been, a special place in my heart for you. Although I didn't get enough time to learn about you as much as I'd like, but you have this spirit that is both dominant, but you do have a loving side to you, and I got to see that a few times.
Thank you to Into the Weeds podcast. They are the reason we have this information, which is so vital for people to see, society, people that support GRB. They really need to know who they are supporting. That's only fair. So this is believed to be from April 2015, which would be approximately 2 months before the act.
And it touched me so deeply to where the thought of you leaving me, it just made me cry. And I wanted to beg you to stay. And I know that one day you'll leave Nick's body, and that will be a very sad day, because I don't want you to leave, sir. You're wanted and you're needed here. And I understand why you have to go. But please always know that you are welcome here anytime. You are loved and you are adored by me. And Demona will be in my body as long as she wants to be, so if you don't mind coming visit me too, I wouldn't mind. I'm gonna really miss you. And I really hate for this to be goodbye, so please, please, sir, I will beg you, please, come back and visit me. Don't leave me now. I just came to know you. And I'm gonna don't leave. I mean, there's still so much that I can learn from you. And we can have magical times together too. And I'm sure you might feel something from me as your... I just love you, and I adore you so much. And everything you've done for me, and everything you've done for me has brought me to where I'm able to be a woman for Nick. And I'll never be able to thank you enough for that. You made me the woman that I'm supposed to be, and you've gotten us to this point where I'm my soulmate. That's a huge accomplishment. And I remember when I asked you if I could be a vampire, and you said that it would be best if I wouldn't. And maybe you're right, because maybe I'm just not meant to be one. But without you guiding me, I would have probably made the wrong choice.
I'm pretty sure it was the other way around. But I don't know what to say here. Obligatory commentary. I think I'm just going to be doing clips like this, not the whole video, because parts of it are just not as good as this.
So, thank you for steering me in the right direction every single time and pushing me to do my best, because without you, I would think, oh, well, I can't do it, I just can't. But you pushed me and you told me to do it, and I did, no matter how hard it was. And you showed me that I could be more than just this I can't do it girl. You showed me that I could be more than what I am. And that is something I will take to heart and strive for every single day, because I learned that from you, sir. And I learned to be submissive, and I learned to be selfless, and learn to do for others, or learn to do for my master, which is very important in being. There were times that I complained about BDS, complained about being. To be honest, it was never more fulfilling than being, whether it be to you or to Nick. It was just, there's something fulfilling in it, and you taught me that. And I will never, ever, ever forget that, and I will never forget you. So I'm going to say something really special to you.
Boy, I can't wait for that.
And as you can see, I'm wearing formal things, as formal as I could be. So I'm wearing my white collar, purple gloves, and a very pretty black dress that's very formal. But I will say this. Thank you, my master, my former master, for everything you have taught me. Thank you for always being there to support me and guide me through everything, and even whenever me and Nick would fight. Thank you for being there for me to vent. You weren't just my master, you were also my friend. And lover. And lover. I truly, truly, truly appreciate it. I love and adore you, my wonderful former master. You are truly a wonderful soul. And I will never forget you. And I will say goodnight one last time. I don't know if I'm ready. Good night, the most handsome, brave, most kindest Sir Victor ever. And though you are not my master anymore, whoever your next slave is, she's very lucky. So I'm gonna say my goodnight now, which I already did that, but hey, why not twice, right? So I love and adore you, my wonderful former master. Good night, Sir Victor.
Right? When you look at Nick talking about it, though, he fumbles his words, he stops frequently, he looks like he's reading off of something, like some kind of notes or a script or something like that. And you can just tell who was told what to say and who wasn't, okay? And Gypsy, I don't know why you are even trying to portray that you were the one being told what to say. Are you stupid? Oh, wait, I forget. Don't answer that. I always say that in every video. I swear to God. Ryan will always defend Gypsy. In fact, we could literally have Gypsy Rose on video committing the unaliving of her mother right there in front of God and everybody, doing it herself. And he would still be like, well, I think she was possessed by Nick or something like that. He was forcing her to do that. Something stupid would come out of the motherfucker's mouth. You know what I'm saying? And, It's pointless, really, to get Ryan's take on things because he's delusional. He is wrapped up in some kind of weird, fucked up delusion with Gypsy Rose Blanchard. And I think it's a little bit more sinister than we all think. Honestly, I really do. Because if you look at what he said that he saw Gypsy Rose in the black and white, in that, I forget what, I think it was Mommy, Dead, and Dearest or something like that, where she's in the black and white outfit, and he's like, oh, she looked so good there. I thought she was so cute. Not the ones of her, like, in the wheelchair and stuff like that. That's not what I'm talking about. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is she still looked like she was 12. You know what I'm saying? She still spoke like she was a child. And you're telling me you found that attractive? That's a little bit strange. I was a little bit taken back by that statement. But I digress. But, you know, sometimes I feel like when you talk to those people like Bree or Brian or whatever, everything that they talk about is just falling onto deaf ears. You know what I'm saying? Nobody listens to what they have to say. Even though I swear that Bree always thinks that she eats every time she speaks about Gypsy Rose, even though most of the time she has her facts completely wrong. Bree, you are not Bree with the facts. You're Bree the dumbass. You know what I'm saying? That's all I gotta say about that bitch. I can't stand that bitch. Why are you always a gingerbread lady? I don't understand that either. I'm just saying. And you know, the thing about it is, Gypsy, is the reason that Gypsy is so turned off by Ryan, I believe, is not only just like his weight, like she said in the emails and stuff, but I believe heavily that it's because Ryan's a simp. Gypsy doesn't want a simp. She wants to be controlled. She wants to be told what to do. Do you see how fucking Ken treats her? She likes that kind of treatment. You know what I'm saying? And some women do. Some women enjoy that kind of shit. Me, on the other hand, don't you fucking tell me what to do, bitch. Don't you dare. I went through enough of that with my ex-husband and his controlling ass and him doing what he did to me. I will never, ever again allow a man to control me. Never again. But Ryan, I think honestly, you were sitting there mocking the people that support the truth train, and you were sitting there trying to make it into some kind of like joke, and it's not a joke. This is real. This shit needs to get put out there as much as possible by as many people as we can get to do it, and not have somebody on there completely just trying to ruin what we say by defending Gypsy Rose. Ryan, you need to stop. Just shut your fucking mouth, for God's sake. And then Perez also platformed Miss Bree, like I said, and it's like Bree the whore is her name, but spelled with an H, whatever the fuck she is. I don't know why she would name herself that. Bree she did try her very best to sound smart, but she's just not smart. So it's hard to sound smart when you're not smart. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I just wanted to be on there. Bree, just accept that you're a dumbass and you don't know what you're talking about. Just get offline. She knew her age. She says, I'm 23, but my evil side is 19. So you knew your age. That, that's a lie you told. Everything that's come out of your mouth has been a lie.
I would like to take you back to a moment in time with Gypsy's case. Do you remember when she said this?
It wasn't until I saw my attorney for the first time, and he tells me that there's been no medical records that says I have cancer, and it shocked me. I don't have cancer?
Well, Gypsy, that's really interesting because NPG just shared this. It's a summation written by one of the police officers on your case. And this is what he had to say about his interaction with you. It should be noted that while en route to the sheriff's department, I did check with Blanchard to see if she needed any medical attention. Blanchard advised that she was in good health and did not need any medical assistance. When asked if she had any medical conditions, Blanchard advised me that she was seizure prone and was currently taking 1,000 milligrams of Keppra twice a day. She advised that since she had come to Wisconsin on Saturday morning, she did not have her medication with her and had not taken any. She also advised that she had a feeding tube in place for her nourishment, but also advised that she could eat some soft foods like mashed potatoes. She advised that the feeding tube had been in place since 2000 due to the fact that she was unable to keep her food down. Which, by the way, we've known, even though Gypsy loves to say now, it was placed there for no reason, despite the fact that she spent a month in the feeding hospital because of her feeding aversions. Anyways, let's go on. She also advised that this was the direct result of having leukemia up to the age of 5 years old. She advised that her leukemia has been in remission ever since, which her medical file actually says several times. So if the leukemia is the con, and the con was Dee Dee, why is Gypsy continuing the con? Things that make you go, Anyways, let's continue. Prior to turning Blanchard over to the deputies, I did check again with Blanchard to make sure that her medical history was covered. In speaking with her at this time, she did advise that she had asthma and was on 2 different inhalers, which is interesting because most of these are inhalers. In the closet from hell, that's proof Dee Dee was abusing her. Anyways, she advised that one of the inhalers should be used every day, and the other inhaler was to be used for when she had difficulty breathing. When asked if she had her inhaler with her at the Cherry Street residence, Blanchard stated no. She advised that the inhaler, along with all her medications, had been left down at her home in Springfield, Missouri. When asked if she knew all of her medications that she was on, Blanchard advised that she didn't know them, due to the fact that her mother, Dee Dee, had taken care of all of her medications for her. But that's interesting because you see, she brought up the seizure medicine, which is right here. She brought up the inhalers, which are right here. So what does that leave us with? A steroid and poopy meds, and a lot of cough medicine, and vitamins. So it looks like whenever Gypsy said, I don't have cancer, the bitch always knew she didn't have cancer.
Everything. And I'm just sitting there wondering, how the fuck does somebody come up with all this shit on their own? That's why I wonder, was Mike Stanfield putting shit into her head? And I also want to say this. I still will always say, thank you, Fancy, and the Good Wives Network, for coming out with the the medical records for us all to know the truth. If you wouldn't have done that, we would never have known the truth. You know what I'm saying? And we would still have a bunch of supporters of Gypsy Rose and everything else. But because you came out with those medical records and exposed her mica deletion, but now for sure, Gypsy, the gig is up. It's honestly, the gig is up already that you were in remission from cancer. Okay? Since you were 5 years old. You knew that. Okay? I mean, there's no way to even give you an out, bitch. You knew that you had the cancer. But then you have Mike Stanfield saying, oh, well, there's no cancer in any of your medical records. I didn't have cancer. You knew you did. I'm not trying to preach over here or trying to say that I'm smarter than anybody. I know it might sound that way. I'm not saying that. I am not smarter than anybody at all. I'm just researching and telling you what I found out. But I know, sometimes it sounds a little preachy. That's not my intent. I just want you to know that. And so while doing my normal research that I do, like I said, I came across a letter that Gypsy Rose wrote to her mother while she was in prison. Now, I did happen to email this letter to myself, and we're going to go over it right now. Okay, got any more? Okay, here it is. All right, so we've got this letter here, and it says, bitch, how your own actions form the circumstances around mine. Woman writing this letter to you as far different than the girl who was broken and desperate to live. What is to come to understand is just an average life for a young woman. Being 23 years old, part of it's cut off, but 23 years old in my life, you as my only guardian, the one person who had the responsibility of sharing, something I would grow up to become. Unfortunately, my upbringing was a far cry from that which should have been. Something from my birth going into my young adulthood, being isolated from having any other human interaction, was lonely, and I was affected by my ability to have appropriate social necessary to make healthy social interactions. Many unnecessary medical surgical procedures and medications that was forced upon me to treat illnesses. Okay, Gypsy, I'm just going to stop you right there because you wrote this letter to your mother and there's nothing but lies in it. How do you think you just completely changed the narrative in your own head and now you believe it? And then you write a letter to your mother about things that she never did to you. So how is this even accurate? How does this help you? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it says in here, but then there's the comfort of your embrace when getting my heart broken for the first time. Awaiting that college acceptance letter where you would think that's how life should always be, but that's not even realistic for most people. You know what I'm saying? Like you're living in this movie of your own that you made up in your own mind. And you know what that is? That's delusion. And you know what that comes from, honey? Schizophrenia. That is also a symptom of the mica deletion. But as you get older, it says. So what I think is you definitely do have the delusions and maybe some slight tendencies of schizophrenic, because all of this is a delusion that you wrote to your own mother knowing that it's not true. Gypsy Rose Blanchard. I can't even sit and read no more because of how diabolically stupid it is. And then you have on here, it says, oh gosh, there's so much more. There's so much more. Oh, I forgot. I'm now 28 years old and I'm in prison for my part in your murder. And though I can never justify my crime, nor can I ever or apology give back to the life that was taken. I'm writing this as if it were physically as if you were physically in front of me to express my feelings and that I've held in for my whole life. Why did they develop with this amount of tragedy, Gypsy Rose? We all want to know that, actually. Because there was no reason for this kind of tragedy to ever happen in any way, shape, or form. But you sat there and planned it and premeditated it for over 2 years. I don't understand how you're not in prison still. I don't understand. And I don't understand how it wasn't investigated when you shot your mother with the BB gun. Did she not make a police report on that? I don't know. I don't recall. I have to look that up. But, so, we went over this, right? So this is why I started speculating that maybe Mike Stanfield was putting shit in her head. Because how did she come up with all this on her fucking own? That's what I want to know. It's crazy to me. It's all delusion. All of it. Every bit of it. Remember that the courts did not go over your medical records, Gypsy Rose. They didn't at all. Why? Because you didn't go to trial, honey. You didn't go to trial, so nothing was investigated. Nothing was looked at. Okay? You took that plea deal for second degree murder and 10 years in prison, and that was that, done and over with. Boom. So you thought, hey, I'm free and clear from having my bullshit exposed. Damn. And you guys had the nerve to talk about Ryan and him being on methadone? Damn. And then, so Ken was on drugs even while he was in prison. So you cut it off with him because you didn't want that in your life. And you wanted him to be able to go and fix himself. And in the meantime, he found another woman, and that was that. And then it was like, the bikers against child abuse were going to help you along your way with things, and they were going to help you with the court system and all that stuff. But then they turned their back and they said, no, we're not, because you didn't show when you were supposed to send them a letter and all that. You didn't show hardly any remorse. They said that you, what else did they say here? Also the fact that you graduated from a anger management class while you was in prison, but I thought there was no help there. Absolutely no help there, right? And I think what happened was the Bikers Against Child Abuse started to realize there was a lot of discrepancies, a lot of holes in your story. And I think that's why they turned their back. Because you didn't have no remorse. You didn't have any kind of feeling about the situation whatsoever. And they didn't like that about you. They could see right through you, which is great. I think that's awesome that they saw right through you. But why doesn't anyone pursue having you, looked at further? At least by the feds or something like that. I don't understand why they didn't, why they haven't. But now, being that Gypsy Rose is cognitively delayed, it's all a part of your 1Q2 1.1 microdeletion, and can also be a result of your microcephaly, small head, because it's pressure on your brain, right? Anyways, with that being said, we can tell that Gypsy is delayed mentally throughout all of these videos. And that's why you thought that your mother would love you if you told her you could walk. That's why you drank out of a bottle until the day that you left for Wisconsin with Nick. Drinking Pediasure and shit out of your bottle. And Enfamil that is in the house but was totally unopened. Anyways, I digress. You were trying to say that the Enfamil was the only nutrition that you were receiving because of the feeding tube. And that's a lie. Gypsy, everything. Why do you lie about literally everything? It doesn't make sense. It's like a person that habitually shoplifts. They can't help it. But I just don't even want to say that you can't help it. I don't want to give you that excuse because you don't deserve that. You know what I'm saying? You deserve to still be rotting in prison like you're making Nick have to do. And in my eyes, you not only took his life, you not only took your mother's life, but you also took his mother's life because she unalived herself because she doesn't have her son anymore. But you seem to think that that is his karma for taking your mother. That's sick too, Gypsy. You're sick. And I don't even know if Nick realized the depth into what he was actually doing. Did he really comprehend how what he was going to do was going to take a life forever out of this world? Did he really, really think about that? Or was it just listening to you tell him about this fairy tale that you wanted fulfilled? And he was your prince and, your knight in shining armor, basically. And you said this was the only way You couldn't do anything else. You know what I'm saying? You didn't say when the lawyer asked you in court that day, what made you choose to do the stabbing of your mother? Why didn't you choose to poison her? And all you could say is, I couldn't find an odorless and tasteless poison. You're sick, Gypsy Rose. Very sick. And one day, when you would go and do something else to somebody, we're all going to be standing here saying, we told you so. And death means gone forever. So did Nick and Gypsy really comprehend that means gone forever, being that they're both developmentally delayed? I believe very much so that Gypsy knew, Gypsy understood, but did Nick? But, I'm not saying he's stupid in any way, shape, or form, because I don't believe that he is. But he did receive a disability check and all that jazz. So I do believe, that maybe he didn't quite comprehend it, what he was doing. And all of this is just my speculation, my opinion, my thoughts. Okay, please don't go leaving any comments anywhere on anybody else's platform about anything, because this is speculation. Own fucked up world for so fucking long. Okay, she used Nick just like she used Ryan. So Ryan was there so she could get out of prison and have somewhere safe to stay that her parole officer would approve of, and then she could switch it up when she didn't need that stepping stone anymore. Just like the same thing with Nick. She wanted to go be with Dan Glidewell. She didn't want Nick. Nick was just going to be the person that unalived her mother. Even though I do believe that she had already done some shit before he got there. But I don't know for sure. I don't understand. I don't understand. And then I think she ended her need to spread anything. And that's so fucked up to me. Really it is. But, the T page with T, honestly, put out a video about just how crazy they all are in this fucking part of the internet. It's really nuts over here, I will say. But anyways, y'all, stay tuned for the next fucking video. It's gonna be juicy, okay? If you made it to the end of the video, though, I will ask that you put like a Christmas emoji of some kind. Any kind of Christmassy emoji. And then tell me what you did for your Christmas holiday. And if you had a good time, did you see family? Did you get what you wanted for Christmas? Tell me in the comments below. I love reading that kind of thing. So, remember to always have gratitude. Be thankful for the little things that you have in life. Be grateful for who you are. Because at any given moment, God can take the things away that you love the most. So please be grateful and humble yourselves. Believe in yourselves. Love yourselves. Have a great day. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. All happy holidays. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, thank you guys for watching. I love you.